Okay. Do I have a microphone still, or do I need to replace the battery? Oh, nope, still got a mic. Cool. Woof. Woof. Tucker, what you growling at? So,
I got the news, to be honest.
I mean, the bizarre of just...
I'll catch up on that tomorrow, probably. Alrighty. What are we doing? What's happening? And this is why I need to have bullet points with me. I didn't have any time to write them up. Oh, let's see. Well, yeah, the channel I edit for the show. Onion Nuggets. Neutered. Taken out back behind the shed. Shot in the face. Sawed off. Good stuff. I know it doesn't affect my livelihood as it affects Scotty and TJ and Paul's ego and their families. So I can only imagine. Yeah, woke up this morning, even looked at the channel, saw that the one strike was on there for bullying and cyberbullying and harassment involving Joe Rogan. And from what I can tell, from what happened there, it was a video commentating on Joe Rogan's take on cancer treatment, and him and Mel Gibson were talking all this stupid bullshit of misinformation of cancer treatments, drinking textile dyes and bleach and whatever the fuck, and he was merely just criticizing him for it. I mean, that's what it was. Well, I need to get my references up here. It's driving me nuts. So there was some like spicy language in there. How to say what that? I won't even say what that is. And I took the clip. I even dubbed over the spicy takes to make them sound pleasant, and posted the video, and it still got a strike. And my thought is that it probably got a strike because it gained traction. Like, unlike some other videos, most of the time, if it's not Vosh or Brett Keane, most of the videos will get like 1 to 3,000 views. This one hit 5,000 in a day, and because it was involving Joe Rogan, my theory is that it gained YouTube's attention a little more than it normally would have, and they just probably at random determined it was cyber bullying and harassment, and that was the end of that. And so it's supposed to be a 6-day suspension, no uploads, no live streams. And then 2 days later, the entire channel is just fucking nuked. There's only one other YouTuber I know of that had their channel nuked over some bullshit reason this year, and that's Crimes New Roman. And They took a video clip from another YouTube video of a fine art piece that had a nipple on it, and that was determined to be nudity, even though it was another YouTube video they took it from. But because that one was historical context and his is like commentary, I guess they figured, well, no, it doesn't count. And it was just the one strike, and all of a sudden his entire channel gets nuked. Now the only reason he even got it back was because he happened to have a patron who worked for YouTube or Google, and so they were able to put his channel in review so he could get it back. And like, yeah, he literally almost just completely disappeared. And when YouTube nukes the channel, it doesn't say that it was removed for any reason. For most people who click on the link or the channel name, it's just not there. It just says this page doesn't exist. You're erased completely. And it's just fucking nuts. It's so fucking frustrating. I hate this goddamn platform so fucking much, and everyone does. But they have such a goddamn grip and monopoly, and no government oversight, you know, to keep them in line. They're like, hey, you have such a huge share here, and you're obviously engaging in practices to squeeze out anyone else. Either fined or get seized and broken up. There was a time where something like that would have happened, but it's long since gone. Probably before I was born. Or just as I was born with Reagan. So many things point to Reagan and Nixon and Carter. Maybe it's because they're just like the most recent presidents in our lifetime and that we can look back on, but I don't know. Compared to everyone else, it seems like they're just maintaining the line. And then Nixon was the first upset, and then Reagan was the next. And then Clinton followed suit after Bush. They're strict on crime shit. Alright. Myself get distracted here. I need to get my perspective books. I need to start working on the background here. So as far as I'm concerned, this penciling work is done for these two characters. I'm just trying to, I don't know, give it more three-dimension here when it comes to his hooves. And I'm noticing like one's kind of larger than the other, so I'm trying to fix that. I get this one is like further back, but it won't be that much smaller. Yeah, at first I had him like, I had his hooves like toes, but my husband suggested that they should just be like straight up hooves. I guess either way works, but I kind of agree this, I do agree this works, this looks better. Like this. I bet in reality, though, it'll be a bitch to fucking navigate. If you're just, like, hard, flat-footed hooves as opposed to just, like, regular paws. Could never walk on fucking hard floors. Or ice. You need special shoes. Just need to lighten something this pencil work so I can determine line work a bit better here. Alright. Oh, god damn it. Opened up my goddamn Gatorade and I'm splashing it everywhere. Good start. Almost. And I'm getting fucking spam calls. Oh. Yellow. Hey, how's it going? I mean, could be better, but overall, I'm, you know, getting by right now. Kinda. The channel I edit for got striked, so we're just dealing with that right now. The channel I edit for, the Young Nuggetz show, got itself a nice strike. Cyberbullying, Joe Rogan. He was they were criticizing the segment where he had Mel Gibson on. Yeah, I know. Think of Joe Rogan. How will he survive? Well, it was gonna last 6 days, but then the channel got terminated, so we're figuring out. So they're figuring out what to do next. Well, it was just the one strike. That's what's crazy about it. And then it was like this morning, it was fine, and then it was gone. So of course you have to go on Twitter and yep. They were just roasting Joe Rogan for spreading misinformation about cancer treatment, you know. I guess it's okay for him to do that, but don't challenge it. That's mean. Right, yeah, we are. What's going on? Oh. Right. Yeah, definitely. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I mean, other than that, same old. But yeah, it was crazy this morning, waking up and then finding that shit. Part of my livelihood is up in the air right now. Not as much as it is for TJ and them right at the moment. So they were just figuring it out, keeping me in the loop. Yep. Yeah, I hear you. Yep. Still a goblin. His usual goblin self. Yes. Not lately. Now we've just been catching up on Gloomhaven with Whiteclaw last couple weeks here. And it's been going good. There's that tabletop tactical RPG that we've been playing. Nope, that's Dark Tower. Yep. Yep. That's it. Yeah, like it's up to 4 players and it's, you know, cooperative. So, you know, White Claw will come over usually like Friday or Saturday. We'll get a mission or 2 in there. So yeah, that's good stuff.
What's up? Alright, well, I guess I'm getting home with that.
Okay. I'll Alright, man. Take care of yourself.
You guys do the same.
Alright. Later. Bye. Oh, there's a friend of ours, bettering himself right now. Sketch just wanted to see how things were going over here in our neck of the woods. But yeah, let's get back on the topic here. So yeah. So our little channel, I say it's our channel, but I don't even own it. I was just the editor, but still, whatever. Fuck it. I'm a participant in it. I edit for it. It's I'm just as involved. What the fuck ever. I'm not going to get into fucking semantics over it. But yeah. So first we get the strike. Cyberbullying jailbroken. Fine. 6 days. A couple days later, though, all of a sudden the channel is just completely fucking gone. Deleted. Like, I thought, like, I thought at first my editor status was just like removed unceremoniously. I was like, oh no, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? No, what did I do? And it's like, nope. It was just some bullshit claim. As it usually is when it comes to fucking YouTube and shit. Alright, we gotta start working on a grid here. Damn it, I wish this had a fucking binder. There. Break the binding on this thing. Alright, I guess I probably should tape it down. I'm gonna try to keep a consistent perspective lines here. Or at least measure it out properly. Like, where's the vanishing point? Where's the line of sight? I say we're probably, like, looking, like, right. Well, he's kind of looking down that way. I'm trying to get the feel of the perspective. I'd say, like, this perspective line is kind of, like, down here. The subject is the focus is the ring. Yeah, we'll go with that. So it's roughly about 6 inches. Let's start measuring this out now. Of course, the perspective is likely going to go off the page. That's always been the challenge with perspective, is the fact that a lot of the lines end up going off the page. And depending on what you're doing, obviously this isn't like a fucking architecture technical piece, so I don't have to worry about strict accuracy. I'm not building this thing. Alright. But yeah, we got the horizon line here. Probably should use my other pencil for that. See, this already feels off. Like, what the fuck? 6. Yeah, it's up there. I know it's off. This part. Let's see, it's roughly about 7. No, that's accurate. That's lined up. Okay. Why is it fucking with me though? Yeah, it's like 6 inches all the way down. For some reason, it looks crooked to me. It really does. It really fucking looks crooked to me. But it lines up. I think it's just because it's just off just a little bit. Fraction. All right. So, where's my scenery piece? I'm not looking for strict accuracy on this either, too. I want to kind of exaggerate the environment. Some of these, found a nice, I think this is the closest thing I can get to a decent shot. You know, probably move some of the cityscape back here a little bit. But I want to block in some of this scenery here. And these background lines, these are definitely going to be oh yeah, I gotta remember, if this is the horizon line, that water line is going to be, oh boy, I'll figure it out on here. Pick a point. right. I'm having like a recall of like education here in my head. Wow, the actual horizon line is going to be pretty close. Is that how it works? Is that how we figure it out? I don't remember. I need to re-educate myself here, don't I? Okay, never mind. I was wrong. Doesn't have to be that way. But it does have to be a certain way. That's where my challenge is here. Okay. Did I not lock you down? What is this bullshit? There. Yeah. Okay. So let's fix that. So I want the horizon line. Also, this will emphasize the fireworks a little bit better. Probably shouldn't strike the line through everything either. I don't have to do that. But so let's make the ring the vanishing point, right? Just make that spot right there. I'll have to strike through. All right. So now what? Tell me. Refresh my memories. There's my T-square. Oh. T-square. Alright. So, that means... Where's my fucking scenery again? Did I lose it? Oh. I'll give this away. I'm gonna file that. I gotta file some important paperwork. Some order information. Don't need to dox anyone. Oh. Right. Remember throwing you on the floor. Yeah, I'm kind of just like speed running some education here again. Diagonal vanishing point. Yep, okay. I get it. Yeah, so we have our initial one, and we're gonna have our diagonal ones. It's gonna go off the page. Otherwise, we have too much of a. We're gonna have like a fisheye. This is where I have to probably tape it down so I don't. No, maybe not that. Just extend it. We'll figure that out later. In fact, I might just make the points the edge of the page. Alright, so the idea is... There. I'll keep sliding down too much. Let me on this pier. And obviously, this isn't going to be a 1-for-1. Have to remember, as far as I'm concerned, the water is going to be disappearing here. So, alright. It's going to look like a mess, probably. Alright. Let's see. So let's... Got these little pier blocks here. Okay. I think something's coming together. Try and remember how you do proper spacing. I guess we can just feel this one out. And we have to figure out how to paint water at night. It's being lit up by fireworks. We're gonna have the we'll have the pier go that way. Yeah, the end right there. Yes. Squeak. 12. Wait, is that 12? 12. I'm just glad to finally start making progress in this again. I hate delays. Life is full of delays. Like my payment probably for onion nuggets this month. Not that I can blame them for it right now. Such bullshit. So Joe Rogan. Hey, what's here? Who's here? Someone's here. So Joe Rogan gets to talk about, well, gets to have Mel Gibson on his show and talk about cancer treatments that don't fucking work. They're just a bunch of bullshit they made up involving drinking dyes and ivermectin, claiming it's the cure-all. The typical conspiracies that I've been hearing ever since I was a fucking child. Yeah, 2 days before the Tournament of Terror, too. That's really fucked up. Joe Consuma's Cinema. Thanks for coming, by the way. So Joe Rogan gets to talk about that shit. He gets to mislead people with false hope and, you know, curing their cancer. You know, cancer is the most exploited disease because people get desperate and they'll cling on to almost anything. I like to ask, like, who are Mel Gibson's friends that supposedly cured their third-term cancer or whatever? And what other treatments they did besides their like keto diet or whatever the fuck they tried? You know, Joe Rogan used to do that. And you know, the other thing that kills me too is like we have all these other people on this fucking site that do everything up and to the point of calling for violence against queer people and black people. They can do that all fucking day and make money off of it and get sponsors for it. I guess the lighting on this is going to work pretty good because, like, the fireworks are in the background, sun's in the background in this image I'm looking at too, so that kind of helps things out. Yeah, so they get to make shit up like that. They get to talk about how black people cause crime or are crime. Yeah, black people are crime. That's what they get to say that shit all the time. Nothing ever fucking happens to them. They never get held accountable for whatever bullshit they inspire. Whenever some Nazi shoots up a fucking supermarket and cites Matt Walsh and Tucker Carlson as part of their inspirations, they just throw up their hands and go, "Well, we never told them to do that. We just said that trans people are a blight on humanity and causing the unraveling of the family unit, and that's why you can't get any dates if you're a straight white male." That's fine. That gets a pass. Mr. Beast gets to set people on fire for his stupid fucking show. He gets a pass for that. He gets to showcase a bunch of poverty porn. Basically. Is it good that he helps people with his money? Yes. But he doesn't go beyond that. He doesn't. I don't see him advocating for a change in the system, so he doesn't have to fucking, you know, throw a bunch of money at a problem to solve it, and put a bunch of family members on the internet that likely probably wouldn't want to be on there. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those people that get featured on Mr. Beast get targeted if they're like black or, you know, and queer. Like, I can only imagine what his trans coworker went through. Yeah, I get that he was outed as some kind of predator, but that's besides the point. And even that, I kind of, you know, I throw up the, you know, maybe possibilities of not being true just because. You know, when everyone has it out for you, they'll reach for anything. And, you know, I say unless he did something fucking illegal and he's arrested, then, you know, or he planned on meeting someone. I don't know the details on it, so I'm not going to pretend to know. That's also besides the point. Just everyone gets away with all this shit, this horrible shit on this goddamn fucking site. and nothing ever happens to them. They don't get to lose their money. They don't get to lose their fucking platform. They don't get any consequence for their demonization of minorities. And we gotta fucking walk on eggshells to the point where there's people that go around saying unalive rather than just murder or suicide. Like that, I am not gonna abide by that. I refuse. And it turns out that was all just paranoid bullshit anyways. YouTube does not care about you using the word suicide. At least by the time I was editing for the channel, like the only words YouTube seems to give a shit about right now are slurs, too many fucks, and any cunt. If you say cunt, demonetized instantly. That threw me for a loop one time. I was stuck editing and re-editing a video clip for Onion Nuggets about Lil Nas X doing his fake apology to Christians. And I think it was Paul that said the word cuntish. People were saying that Lil Nas X was cuntish for his apology because people were taking it at face value, thinking it was real. And the video was demonetized, but I didn't know why. So I went through it like a half a dozen times. I blurred out Lil Nas's face, thinking maybe it's because he's black, and they're criticizing a black man. Maybe YouTube has an issue with that. I blurted out every single swear word. And then come find out, months later, YouTube starts putting timestamps to point out why a video's been demonetized. Which that's one of the positive improvements. I'll give them that. That's definitely a good one. Putting timestamps so you know where your oopsie is. And so yeah, that's when I found out. The one word in the timestamp, it was cuntish. And that's why that video never got to get monetized properly. Well, that 20-minute video. Cuntish. You just gotta say it once. Yellow star. Yellow symbol. You definitely know that's fucking leftover from the previous CEO, because the previous CEO was a woman. Wojcicki, whatever her name was, before she died of cancer, that I'm pretty sure she didn't treat with fucking ivermectin. That's why she died of cancer, right? No, I don't want to talk too much. Joe Rogan might think I'm bullying him and his ideas. His clever, brilliant ideas. Fucking piece of shit. I added him on Twitter too. I'm like, is this the free speech you support? I want to see him throw some weight around. Be like, hey, there's no reason this channel should be deleted. What, just because TJ said he should shove a cactus up his ass? Is that the kind of language you're going to interpret as threatening? Give me a fucking break. Yeah, Joe Rogan's not a class of person either, so like, there's no like made up race of Joe Rogans that are suffering under the law. That you can be like, Joe Rogans are destroying the fabric of society. His ideas are certainly harmful, but that's why, you know, it's important that they just get held accountable, right? Like, I bring up fucking a certain right-wing pundit who like to own the libs in college campuses. He'd be alive today if the government did the right thing, if the platform did the right thing. Just imagine there'd be a father taking care of his kids still. If the Turning Point USA was just defunded. You know, their money seized for hate speech. You know, completely kicked off. You better hope Trump wins, or else 100,000 Haitians are going to be brought to Alabama, and they're going to be your masters. Maybe after he said that, there should have been a call to action from the actual governing powers of whatever state he was in to just completely remove his access to the internet entirely. And he'd be alive today. Because you know what? If he didn't have a job anymore in that work, in that field, you know, no one would be going out there to take him out. He'd be on a talk show someday, like, yeah, I used to spout all this nonsense that I was paid to say, and then you know, turns out that people weren't really receptive to it, and I lost all my sponsorships, and now I'm here as a peanut farmer. A real, if he chooses, he goes into a real humbling career. He becomes part of the actual working class again. All that he ever was. That'd be nice for everybody. That's just one example. But nope. It's to the point where fucking YouTube has a goddamn bias against leftist channels. To the point where there's an actual lawsuit going on. I haven't found any record on it yet. I'm just made aware that it exists. But yeah, there's a lawsuit going on based on that. Alright. Well, I mean, there's nothing to really draw for the water pencil-wise. I guess the next thing is just, I want to get some of the scenery in here. I want to challenge myself and get some of this building in here. Hello. Who else just popped in here? Jessippo. Oh, okay, well, what happened? So I woke up this morning, and the Onion Nuggets show that I edit for had a strike. God damn it. I just broke my goddamn T-square. That's why I have a spare. Okay, it's not broken, I just cracked it. Anyways, the Onion Nuggets show had a strike for cyberbullying Joe Rogan. And my theory is that the video was actually getting some traction. They had like over 6,000 views, and it prompted YouTube to take a look at it, and all of a sudden they were just like, oh yeah, you're bullying Joe Rogan. It's like, oh, poor Joe Rogan. He had a show with Mel Gibson on there, and they were just talking about all this fake cancer treatment. Yeah, all these promoting these scams and shit that just gets people killed, really. Let's see, how do we do this? Yep, right there. And TJ and them were just criticizing him. And that was labeled as bullying and harassment. So there's a strike on the channel. Now, 6 days. It's supposed to come off. However, later this morning, it was just fucking deleted. All that work, all that effort, everyone put into, myself included, just gone. Thankfully, I keep all my clips that I did for every episode. Unfortunately, I don't have the full episodes because I was running out of hard drive space a couple years ago, so I had to make room. It sucks too because when I quit the day job for a while, I was able to allocate a bunch of shit of my backups and my past and current work to the point where I have like a whole bunch of new space open for storage and backups. So I've been keeping every episode of this year's shows. But yeah, I have every clip though I ever did, every thumbnail I ever did for the show. Since I started editing for them late 2023. So if need be, we can make like an archive and shit like that. Like, you know, make like the best of the best. No issue with that. Just kills me though. Yeah, I was upset. I had to like fucking keep my composure. Okay, this is just like all black. You know what? This probably will just be all black when it comes to like the fireworks and shit, because it's like an overhang. Let's just sketch this out real quick. Let's get a feel for it before we start doing the perspective. But yeah, I was upset. Had to keep my composure at work because I'm doing my job. Thinking that, you know, it's partly my fault. And, you know, at least if they think it is partly my fault, they didn't say anything about it. I don't think they think that way though. I think if they did, they would say something to me directly. And I wouldn't hold it against them if they did. But they know it's likely this Brett Keane fellow, this fucking loser. Brett Keane's an individual situation who lives on SSI. He doesn't have a regular job. He just does YouTube all the fucking time. Messes around with AI, so he has nothing but time to false report channels that criticize him in any way. And that's probably what he did. It was probably a domino effect. You know, you get the normal strike for the Joe Rogan video, and then here comes Brett Keane with his mass reporting of his 24-hour gauntlet that they did on him and his history. Okay, it's all gonna be blacked out here. And then, yeah, the channel gets nuked. It's a weird fucking building. It sticks out so much. Alright. It's fine. Part of my fucking challenge is to, like, try to, like, recreate this here. To some degree. Alright, let's lighten up the lines, though. The sketch lines. I do like the idea of keeping this building here, though. And so, yeah. You know, TJ, Scotty, Paul's Ego, their livelihoods are definitely affected by this, because it's like basically a quarter of their income right now just fucking erased. Or what's going to amount to just like a not a good reason. That's generally what it amounts to. It's going to amount to not a good fucking reason. Just seeing how does this perspective work on here? So this is like, yeah, let's just go with that. Nope. You know what? We'll try to match it up here. Basically, this perspective is going to go all the way off the fucking page. Way off the page. So, like, I guess this is where you just get creative and kind of guesstimate things. I got an idea what the awning looks like here. So I got kind of a line under here. It's almost like... So I don't know what's going to happen right now. They're figuring out what to do. I mean, definitely they have their patrons at least, but like they lost all these memberships they had going on with YouTube. And that's a huge feat because YouTube's more expensive, mainly only because they take out more percentage of the revenue when it comes to super chats and the membership fees. So fucking frustrating. It's just no fucking like set standard. Everything's so fucking automated. More so than ever. It's such a huge platform. No human could possibly go through it all. And you know, I get it. I get the idea that you probably wouldn't want, like, I don't know, your product next to some racist asshole. Because you don't want to give him money, right? Like, I wouldn't want my website helping some guy that wants me dead to get his money. Yeah, that's fucking horseshit. But that's what we have here, though. We have a bunch of people who essentially advocate for all but our straight up just executions, because they know that would just be the line they can't cross. They just have the faintest plausible deniability that they need. So when someone does something and says they are inspired by Matt Walsh, you'd be like, I never told him to do that. And then it'll turn around and say like, well, if, you know, these mass shootings are happening because, you know, you want your gay marriage or whatever, or you're doing your drag queen shows, then why are you still doing it? Is it really worth it? Really worth all this hassle? Is it really worth getting killed for? It's like, who's saying the things that are inspiring someone to kill over it? What are some of the things that you're saying? You're like, well, they're corrupting children, and it's true. Yeah, it's a social contagion. Based on what? Based on my feelings, bro. You need to get right with God. Prove God. You prove God doesn't exist. That's not how evidence works. And eventually you just hit that circular argument. And then, you know, you have to bite your tongue so you don't say something you'll regret. That could be interpreted as a threat. Because they'll go after you in a fucking heartbeat. Oh yeah, they'll fuck that double standards are full in effect. You say something that might be hinted at as a threat to one of these major talking heads, and you gotta fucking knock at the door, or maybe a kick in the door, really. Oh, I'm sure someone could be saying this to me right now too. Is it really worth all this YouTube trouble? It's like, shit, bitch. I'd be fucking. You know what people did before YouTube when they, you know, people like me, they would make their shit anyways, and if they couldn't get on public broadcasting to do their show, they would just film themselves on VHS and sell it to fucking libraries and shit. If you look at the show Best of the Worst, there's tapes they refuse to destroy because they feel like they might be the only one that exists. Because you look at some of these things that people were making called it's like, yeah, the Wheel of the Worst, stuff like that, and it's like, wow, this is like someone's hobby, where they just like make a bunch of kooky characters they interact with and go on adventures, and they're probably trying to like sell it as some kind of a show pilot, maybe. Like, without YouTube and everything and social media, like, I'd just be making my book I'd probably pull out some ads in a newspaper or phone pages and asking for commissions as an illustrator. And I'm still going to be trying to seek publishing for my book. Or books. I'm in the, I'd say, second and a half draft of my graphic novel I want to make. Has nothing to do with this. This is just a commission I got to do. I got paid to do for. I'm just catching up on it right now. Yeah, let's hope they like it. Alright, we got this like awning here. Really, I should have been put this on the projector and, you know, put this on the thing here, on the canvas I'm working on, but you know what, fuck it. Again, this isn't meant to be like a technical thing. Also, like, in the background, there's going to be a lot less detail, a lot more implied shapes. Like, you know, I think probably made this shit all a little bit too big. Well, maybe not. Should have sketched this out a little bit more, though. Like, yeah, that's barely, like, it's almost pretty much a straight line right here. Alright. I'm just gonna rough it out here. Yeah, so it kind of sticks out right around here. This goes awning. Yeah, like it's overhanging over the head here. And this bar. Why is there a big ass bar here? I don't know. For some reason. It's just damn, I just can't get over. And like all the other platforms that exist fucking blow donkey chunks. They fucking suck. The only one that's coming close that I can think of is I can't remember the name of it now. It's not Blip TV. Blip TV's been long since dead. BitChute. BitChute has ads now, and they're paying creators now. But you know, so does Rumble. And apparently they're just faking their numbers, so who knows how long that shit's gonna last before they get like bought out, and everyone gets fucked over there. Just like they did with Maker Studio, when that's after they bought Blip TV. After Maker Studio, which is owned by Disney, bought Blip TV, every creator pretty much slowly but surely got the axe on that platform, because it was never meant to be. It was never in line to be in competition with YouTube. It was meant to embed in websites, and that was it. But their ads payouts were better. And I really wanted it to work. I tried my damnedest to promote my shit on there, but I got no fucking traction. And so Blip TV died. All that time I could have been spending on YouTube, really. Just wasted. But, you know, when you work in an insurance sales job, you don't have much time to think about things like that. You don't have much time to strategize an actual, like, social media and YouTube presence. So that really kneecapped me over the years. 2012, like, late 2011. Well, actually, no, 2011 I think is when I started doing that. Yeah, 2011 all the way up until, like, 2014 almost. Yeah, this is only inevitable. Yeah, pretty much was, wasn't it? I can't stop harping on the fucking double standards. I really can't. You have so many fucking racists on here saying the racist fucking shit. all the time. They never get held accountable. They never get fucking kicked off. Mainly because I imagine like a lot of I don't know. Maybe it's a bias on YouTube. Maybe it's a combination of like a lot of lefty supporters don't necessarily feel like wasting their time mass reporting like channels all the time, like right-wing chuds do. Because like you gotta think about how dumb some of these people's audiences are. Like the Quartering. He's got what, over a fucking million subs? And he's struggling? Supposedly. He's struggling with his little coffee business, his little Nazi coffee business. He's struggling with that shit. He's struggling with donations. With over 1 million subs and 100,000 of views on his channel all the fucking time. Probably because his most of his audience is like rural working class Americans. Or kids. Probably a little bit of both. And Onion Nuggets had like what? 17,000 subs? And yet their memberships alone was probably enough to sustain the channel. Let alone the Patreon. At least the Patreon's still there for now. You know, I don't want to fucking jinx it. But yeah, my point is though, is like, you know, when you have a bunch of dumb fuck audiences that have nothing but time on their hands and they see something they don't like, they're gonna fucking spend their time making it their hobby to harass and try to get YouTube to kick people off they don't like. And then act like it's a fucking like own when it comes to like the trying to enforce their own principles. When it comes to like hate speech and shit and accountability. Yeah, well, the YouTube is a corporation. They can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. They're a corporation. That's what you said. Yeah, I mean, that's what we always say. They can do what they want, and what they want to do is fucking stupid most of the time. I remember, like, my first furry channel, it's now called Weird Swords, but it used to be called Furry Days. That got deleted. I got terminated one time. All because one person claimed a video that wasn't theirs as being theirs. It's a little complicated. They uploaded someone else's video that they got permission to do. And they try to claim it like representing the almost like they're trying to represent the person who originally made the video. And so like I got really pissed because it was a takedown and I got a strike on my channel. So like I pulled up like a YouTube fax number and I was faxing them shit saying like this is a false report, take this down. You know, this is like perjury or whatever. And next thing you know, my channel's deleted for a quote unquote abusive legal request. And yeah, I never got it back. I took about an hour before I just said fuck it and gave up, and I spent the entire weekend just re-uploading every single video I had on a new channel for that one channel. And now, you know, now since then I've surpassed it, what I originally had. It's a long time ago now. But it's just like you have no fucking say. No one to talk to. No recourse whatsoever. Someone just wants to fuck with your livelihood. And I want to know how many people are going to come out of the woodwork when this shit happens. I know TJ and them are going to be fine overall. I'm sure they're going to figure some shit out. But, you know, inevitably, you're going to get someone that comes out and just says to get a real job. Why don't you get a real job? Why don't you get a real job? It's like I already have a real job. I also want to make this kind of like my side gig, and then also like maybe my second job, or maybe my first job and primary job. How about that? I don't know, man. Like people are so happy to consume art, but they don't like supporting how it gets made. They don't like supporting the people that make it. They like shitting on them though. There's always going to be a crowd that just hates you expressing yourself. That's something I kind of realized when it came to like things like Kiwi Farms and Encyclopedia Dramatica. Like there's there's people that just fucking hate confident weirdos. They really do. I hate confident weirdos coming on here saying like, "Yep, this is me. This is what I like to do. Go fuck yourself." And they're like, "They can't do that. They're not normal. They should be recluse like me." And then they turn around and blame the victim too. Yeah, I love that too. The exact opposite reaction you probably should have, you know, when like someone's like upset over something genuine happening. Like, I don't know, they get harassed in real life because of some shit on the internet, some shit bags on the internet. And then rather than looking at that and being like, "Aw," they look at that and just start laughing and saying it's their fault. It's their fault for daring to exist in a public sphere. You know, sorry, like, I grew up with the idea that, you know, people like us are outcasts and, you know, pushers of the envelope, whatever. Feel need to have our voices be heard, and I felt the need to express myself, so that's what I do. Alright. Just wanted to get some more of this environment done here. And maybe I can send this to the commissioner today for approval or suggestions before I start inking this baby. Primarily when it comes to inking though, I focus first on the figures themselves and then work the backgrounds. Because the background's going to be a lot thinner lines, less detail. And then, yeah, we'll start blocking in like the water, the pillars here. And then we'll start figuring out like the lighting with the fireworks. When it comes to coloring, this is all going to be brand new for me. I've never done anything like this before. Just fine. It's like I need the fucking practice and shit so I can get better at the bookmaking part. What else is there about YouTube? I could stay on this fucking topic. As I mentioned, I don't know if you're, you know, people have showed up. I want to say the story again. So the other channel that I know got deleted this year, it's called Crimes New Rowan. And he used a picture of a fine art piece from another YouTube video, and it has some nudity on there, it has some tits. And it's, he got a strike, one strike. And so he censored it, put it up again, got another strike, and then his whole fucking channel was just deleted, despite, you know, still not having the full strikes, if I'm remembering the story correctly. So he just woke up one day without his channel. And it just so happened that one of his patrons worked for YouTube, and that's how he got his channel back. And who knows if that would have ever happened otherwise. What's going to be really funny, well, not really funny, but Paul's Ego lost his channel at one point to ideology for fucking hate speech. Go figure, right? Matt Walsh gets to fucking say trans people are the goddamn devil and they're fucking your kids. He might as well just be saying that, because that's what he pretty much suggests every fucking video he makes on the topic. You can say that just fine. You know, Paul's Ego makes some joke. Who knows what he fucking said, and his channel gets nuked. But, you know, a couple years later, when the Trump gets reelected and shit, that channel just comes right back up out of nowhere. He just logs into his account and just sees it right back in there. Like, huh? What? Okay. Well, don't know what I'm going to do with this now, but thanks. God, what if it fucking... it's deleted and they start a new channel and then that one comes back? Like, what the fuck do you do then? What a fucking mess. Yeah, BitChute sucks. I don't know what their ad revenue is like right now. I made 3 cents on that website. You know what? The views are a little bit better for my videos than they are on YouTube. Somewhat. Sometimes. The auto upload still works there. What else is there? There's Odyssey. Odyssey runs on fucking crypto, but Odyssey has this like libertarian belief that everyone should just be allowed on the platform and potentially make money off of it. Which is fucking horrendous to me. Like, I'm sorry, but... I'm not sorry. How the if someone's, like, advocating specifically for, like, your death based on, like, who you are as a person, or what you are as a person, excuse me. What you are as a person. You can't fucking change your how you exist. Why would you... If you're running a website, why would you want them to potentially make money off of that and advocate for your potential death, whether it be through legal means or, you know, inspiring some mass shooter? Yeah, I wouldn't want that fucking shit on my website. YouTube loves it though. YouTube loves it, and they make money off of it. And it's like, what else do you have? Because we live in a capitalist society with money as God, and you know, as an artist, you're pretty much dead in the water if you don't have a social media presence at all. You can have an agent all you want and go by with that, but you know they want name recognition, they want notoriety. It makes it a lot easier to sell to clients and studios. So what do? You can't escape YouTube. It's a fucking monopoly, and there's no monopoly laws in effect anymore. So we're stuck. We're trapped. Doesn't even matter. Like, and this is where you get to the whole mindset where, like, I realize at some point, like, I'm just going to be creating for the sake of creating. And it's always the mindset I've had. Do I try to do, you know, a video on a popular topic once in a while? Yes. Something of my interest, yes. I don't know. I have a hard time, like, wrapping my mind around the idea of being, like, a slave to the algorithm. I can't produce things fast enough either. That's the other problem. Like, if I write a video on a topic, I want to be able to actually write it. I don't want to just do a knee-jerk reaction all the time. Yeah, I did that with Charlie Kirk, and that got me some views. That was good. Because, like, I immediately came to the conclusion, like, you know what, if Turning Point USA just got dismantled, he would be alive. None of this shit would have happened. As it should be. Like, these people in Texas that were proposing bills to like ban transgenderism as if it's a fucking belief system. Yeah, that should have been the end of the political careers. Marjorie Taylor Greene should not have the chance to resign. She should have been barred from fucking holding office when she was the Jewish space laser lady. And that's going to be her legacy. In my mind, she is always, forever, going to be the Jewish space laser lady. Claiming that fucking Jewish space lasers are causing the wildfires in California, as opposed to like tangible, real things such as drought. Oh, it's okay for her to spread that misinformation, though. She gets funding, sponsorships. But, you know, you criticize Joe Rogan. Man, you better watch out. You better duck and cover. You better fucking duck and cover. And there's also suspicion that Brett King probably mass reported the channel, so hope those SSI checks are paying well. And there's a guy that does not give a shit about anything. Okay, yeah, I think the background's actually coming together here. Alright. Alright, so he's gonna have like a shadow. It doesn't matter if I go off the borders here. I'm still debating if I want to give him the original or a print. Probably auction off the original. I know I did say I was going to give him the original. I never even said I was going to be making it traditionally. I mean, so far he's been satisfied with what I've been doing, so. Alright. Yeah, the way the lights are going to be coming from the fireworks. It's going to really make a long shadow. Off of these spots here too. The scenery. It's probably not that long of a shadow for that. This is short. Imagine at night, these are going to be filled in. I'll be black here. I have some outline of bushes. But this is all going to be black. Underneath here. I mean, you can always work back the ink, but I think eventually you're just going to have to deal with. See, now here it's a little bit harder because I kind of figure out what the overhang's going to look like here. But I guess it's like the rest of it. You just get obsessed with precision measurements and stuff like that when it comes to stuff like this. But I realize it's about kind of like, it's really more about how the image feels itself. Like, does it feel right? Does it look right? Does it look good? Doesn't look like warped. And I think it also depends on the subject matter focus. Yeah. These two made-up persona characters proposing. Alright. Make little tops here. You know, oh yeah, you know, let's talk about my channel. Shit. Let's just talk about this Crafty Arts channel here. So, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I wanted to make a silly art show. And I didn't want to just do tutorial videos because I think that's oversaturated and boring. And usually when it comes to tutorial videos, I look at how I treat tutorial video channels. I look up a tutorial. I usually find a relevant video on the topic, and I never seen anything that YouTuber ever does ever again. And that's the extent of my interest. I don't feel like going through endless amounts of tutorials every day and trying basic little techniques, because that's usually what they mainly focus on too. It's just beginner stuff. Alright, I guess we should consider some of the cityscape here. I think that would serve it well to actually have some of that in here. But it's going to be very implied compared to the rest, right? In fact, it probably is going to be silhouetted and outlined because of the lights from the fireworks. And this will actually help bring out the figures more. And I'll need some night sky shots to get a feel for how I shade this in more. But now it's time for a progress shot, definitely. Let's turn off my camera. But yeah, I want a little silly little art show. I wanted to make like little skits around the process of making things. And I kind of still have that maybe in mind. Not really. Kind of more, I kind of lean more towards the commentary stuff. Now, what do I commentate on? I don't know. Right now, for the most part, I just commentate whatever the fuck I feel like. And, you know, that's a hard sell for a lot of people because they want consistency, right? If you're the angry nerd, you make angry nerd videos about video games. If you're a nostalgia critic, you mainly review movies. I mean, he plays video games now too, but, you know, let's face it, I'm pretty sure more people watch his reviews still than his video game streams. Though it does give him an opportunity to interact with him, so I'm guessing that's a good selling point. What else? Well, I need my, I also need my... Oh, yeah, that's right, it's in my bag. I'll be right back. So I've resorted, so I started it maybe like 10 years ago now. It's gained a little bit of traction here and there. Sometimes I get a good hit video, sometimes I don't. Last time I had a good hit video was about the H-Bomber guy plagiarism situation. Mainly because it hit me kind of home hard because I was a patron of James Somerton for a bit. And I found out he was a huge plagiarist. And what's funny about that is that if he just, like, said, I'm sorry, and he continued to make videos, like nothing happened after that, he probably would have been fine. But instead, he freaked out, deleted all his videos, came with some apology video, and then, I don't know, just gave up after that, I guess. So I got a good hit there. Almost got monetized. I couldn't keep up with the posting though, because I was working for Onion Nuggets, and you know that shit was paying me, and I couldn't keep up with the video making to the point where I have surpassed the watch time required. So that dropped off. And it's like, I don't know, what do I make a video on? What do I have to make a video on to like get some viewership? Because I don't want to fake it. So I'm starting to lean more towards interpersonal stuff and stories, personal stories. Stories relating to like historical events. Sometimes recent events that are of interest, I guess, if I can get it in time. That's the thing, is that, well, if it's like a news story, like, what am I going to do? Do what everyone else is doing? Read a fucking article and skim over the headline? Skim over a few paragraphs and be like, oh man, this is crazy, isn't it, guys? Yeah, wow, wild. Yeah, that'll really help me stick out. So I'm like, fuck that. So I've shared, you know, a lot of personal experiences and challenges I've faced growing up and moving out on my own and all that. So we're going with that. And I think so far it's resonated with people that's seen it. It hasn't blown up on YouTube yet. You know, here I am with my next project being about the movie Plague Dogs. You know, the most popular animated movie ever. But it's like, what else am I gonna do? You know, I gave my thoughts on Lilo and Stitch movie. Actually, the trailer. I didn't even want to see it, so I didn't see it. I don't want to do movie reviews. I think that shit's pointless. Because again, I look at how I look at movie reviews currently. I'm pretty much to the point where if I want to see a movie, I'll decide for myself if it's going to be good or not. And I don't even bother with the reviews anymore. Unless it's something satirical and fun, like a Nostalgia Critic video or a Cinema Cynics video, the best of the worst. But even then, I avoid a lot of the reviews of modern movies because I end up just having contentions with things that they say, and I'm just like, fuck this. I feel like I'm being like lectured onto like what I should like and what I shouldn't. So I can't do the movie review shit. And I'd rather not do it either. Now, I do like analyzing and relating movies to like real life situations and experiences. So that's kind of my plan with this Plague Dogs project, is I'm writing a script right now on it. No, well, not right now, but I'm working on a script and rewriting it right now. So I read the book, watched the movie again recently. I got it on Blu-ray. And just, you know, just sharing like how that movie makes me feel and see if anyone feels similar and how it resonates. And how it relates to like other people's experiences, real life experiences. And I find that stuff a little more interesting. And that's kind of what I want to do with it. And with other movies too. Right now it's mostly animated movies because I feel like no one's talking about these animated movies that I found. And me and my husband found pretty good, like Mars Express, Unicorn Wars, Bird Boy. Like all these animated movies I just mentioned, like that was the shit I was wanting to see as a kid that never came out. In terms of like tone and subject matter. When I saw Akira on the Sci-Fi Channel in 1995, whatever age I would have been, 10, like that blew me the fuck away. And that ruined Saturday morning cartoons for me for like the rest of my days. So I had no friends that were weebs. We actually kind of, the friends I did make ended up just like, we looked at those weebs, it's like fucking weirdos. Not even like weirdos, just like, why the fuck are they spending all this time playing Magic the Gathering and, you know, watching anime all the time? Like, what are they going to do when they graduate high school? Are they just going to keep doing that all their fucking lives? And, yeah, I guess so, because a lot of them seem to be doing that still. They're not doing much else, I mean. But yeah, I know, I watch a lot of anime. Well, I don't watch a lot of anime. When I have time, there's there ends up being a lot of anime we end up watching. Overall. Compared to most, I guess, compared to most people. I don't know what most people watch. Non-anime? Is that what most people watch? Things that are not anime? I don't know, man. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards into, and for better or for worse, I just feel like I have to do something. I can't stop. So, you know, I'm working on the book, and there's other channels that kind of like do what I'm working on doing right now. You know, analyzing media and sharing personal experiences. I mean, I think that could be an angle. I think that could be a consistent angle. Like, ooh, what deep dive is he going to go into next? And I'm trying to be patient right now because I have like one video I have and membership only, just so I can have it up there in case anyone wants to see it early. But I kind of want to work on getting a catalog together, like almost like a portfolio of videos together, so I can start posting them consistently, like once a month maybe at least. A bigger projects, something that takes a little more time to write out a script for. You can get some insight on. So with Plague Dogs, I want to focus on like how animal experimentation was done in the past around this time in reaction, how it relates to like refugee status for people. The harsher tone of the movie compared to the book. Yeah, that book is some fucking copium, man. I'll just say that, like the end of that book, without I guess spoiling it for no reason. that is some, man. I get, because it's fiction, you want a happy ending. I often find though, I guess it depends on the era and the time, right? But I often find the idea of a harsher ending inspiring people to try to make a better world so we don't have those harsher endings in real life. And that's why I think it's important that the harsher ending exists for Plague Dogs. If they ever remake it, they better fucking maintain that ending too. Especially now. Or like, you know, adapting the movie, the graphic novel short Pride of Baghdad. It's a lot of indie stuff too that like I like to like bring awareness to. That's pretty cool. Yes, friends. It's time for Tucker's Walk. Alright. Alright. So the backgrounds are going to be like roughly put in here. Again, I gotta remind myself not to put too much detail in there. You know, a bunch of cross-hatching and shit. If you put too much detail there, it'll take away from the front objects, frontal subjects. Simple lines, kind of like imply that shit there. And then we have to figure out like night sky, colored fireworks. How's this shit gonna light up when it comes to like the bridges? You know, the pillars, the water. I'm gonna look all that stuff up and get references on it. I do have some. Kind of gives me an idea. Right. Let's get a progress photo here. I have to call it for tonight. I'm gonna get up early so I can start writing my script. Hey, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, I guess there, as far as like YouTube channels, I'd like to emulate. The one I can think of is Tail Foundry, I think the name is. Yeah, right now plan is to get maybe like 3 or 4 videos done, keep them membership only for the time while they get done, and then start premiering them once a month. And then if I feel like I can keep up a good pace, assuming I'm not too busy with whatever editing jobs I have in the future with Deep Fat Fried Crew. Like maybe we could start tackling maybe like, I don't know, relevant topics or immediate topics that could gain some viewership. Or better yet, I don't know. Maybe instead of doing bullet points of just like random stuff that comes to mind, I can just title the stream something popular that's going on at the moment that I can talk about, or at least have some kind of opinion on, and just go off the cuff that way. And maybe I can draw in some SEO draw that way. Put a bunch of tags. Like, I don't know. I hate to say it right now, but like, I don't know, like mass shooting in Australia. And I can talk about the mass shooting in Australia while I draw this fucking silly picture of a horse proposing to a dragon. And then a bunch of people can come and berate me for somehow undermining the tragedy or something. I don't know. It's the first thing that comes to fucking mind. Not that I'd be there, like, making fun of it or some shit. I'd just be talking about it, right? That's what you gotta do. You gotta talk about what's popular for at the moment in order to get that, draw that attention. I mean, it's either that, or, you fake being an asshole. And just say a bunch of, heinous shit for the sake of it. Which I couldn't fucking do. I couldn't fucking look at myself in the mirror if I was just like... Unless I was playing a character. If I was playing a character, and I could sell that character, that's a different story. Like, I thought Darkside Phil was a character. I never watched this shit outside of people commentating on it, but like, when I was watching him like fail at video games and do weird shit that I never thought would happen in playing a video game, in terms of failing at it. Man, I was thinking, like, man, is this an act? I'm pretty sure this feels like it's an act. Like, he's just pretending to be this way, right? Like, he's not really like this in real life, is he? But it fucking works. It's, he was, as far as I could tell, like, hilarious to laugh at. And it's like, it has to be like a character. And it's like, nope, it wasn't a character. I guess that's why it works, though. It wasn't a character. It was for real. Yeah, I guess we're all just figuring out what the fuck to do with ourselves. Now, let me catch up with you here. I'm sorry for not being on top of conversation. It seems to be what gets the clicks lately. I don't actually do that. Probably should start, though. All heinous shit I say is for good cause, yes. Yeah, I guess I'll try that from now on too when I do art streams, because I can't. If I were to do the crafty thoughts thing I do, and if I were to do that and try to make it on whatever's popular for the week, I would probably have no time to do actual art, and so that would have to be the sacrifice. And to me, like, commentary is more like a flash in the pan. as opposed to making some kind of episode or something creative around the topic. I think trying to compare it, like comparing the entire catalog of the Quartering again, for Geeks and Gamers, to H Bomber Guy, or just one of H Bomber Guy's videos. I'm pretty sure I could watch that plagiarist video 10 years from now, and it would still be interesting and entertaining. Just because it's because of the subject matter it's based on, and like an event that happened around this time. As far as like the Quartering or anyone like him that just lazily reads an article title and just talks about the buzzwords of the day and with responds with that, who's going to look back on that? Who's going to be like, hey, remember when the Quartering made that video about Magic the Gathering going woke? Let's go watch that again, man. That was great. Oh yeah, man, when he made that commentary about that Magic the Gathering going woke in that article, that feminist article from some defunct website. That was great. And I'm not saying everything holds up, but I'm pretty sure you can go back and watch angry video game nerd videos and find more substance out of that than a lot of these chuds, what they do. You know, I think it's because it's not just what you're commentating on; it's how you commentate on it too. Like there's moments of Deep Fat Fried I can look back on and remember the video and the moment, and it's just fucking hilarious. The Ben Shapiro, Daniel Craig drawing contest, or just Paul's ego going off his fucking rocker when it came to Ben Shapiro suggesting that gays shouldn't adopt and they're better off in an orphanage, and Paul flipping his shit out, and they titled that "Paul Destroys Ben Shapiro with Rage," something like that. I could watch that again. Yeah, even what you're doing, Kyle, like, you know, different personalities, similar format though. It definitely would, definitely holds weight. Definitely holds some fucking staying power. Alright, well, I gotta get up at 4:45, but not, I'll try to get up sooner, just so I can have some hours before I go to work, to the job. Thanks for coming by, Kyle, Barnassus, Jessipo 308, and Joe Consumes Cinema. Thank you for that. Thank you for stopping by. Figuring out what to do. Good night. Wish there was a better way to do this in Linux.